Thank y'all so much for tuning back into my channel. Listen, y'all, I'm over here doing some research, right? Y'all know I love studying. I love reading books. I love all things knowledge, right? History, all of that. I'm into all of the things, right? And so let's talk about this. I'm into the secret mysteries of the Most High. But one thing that I want y'all to understand is that through birth in Oconee Rebirth Temple, right? As a Oconee high priestess, okay? That's what I am, all right? That is what the Most High has ordained me to be, right? So I want to talk about the high priestess of the Cherokee. This is an untold story of Nancy Ward, right? This woman, she was a sacred woman in history. She was, listen, this is powerful, it's poetic, it's educative, it's really reverent, right? And so I want to discuss this because she wasn't just a woman. She was a warrior. She was a peacemaker. She was a leader. She was a high priestess of her people, this woman. Her name was Nancy Ward, right? And it means she had a nickname. It's Nanyehi, and it means the beloved woman of the Cherokee Nation, right? She was a beloved woman. You know, in my videos, I always say, you are beloved, you are loved, Jediah, right? And so, listen, this is the story that you did not learn in school, but it's one that deserves to be told and also deserves to be remembered, right? So, the past few months, starting in, it was back in July, actually, when God actually gave me Oconee Rebirth Temple, he led me to the name of that street, right? That was how I birthed it, okay, Oconee Rebirth Temple, a spiritual community for spiritual misfits, right? People that have been silenced by trauma, rejected by religious systems, and then misunderstood by your family. But listen, I went like on a whole journey in the month of July, right? And God just had me researching the Cherokee tribe, right? The different tribes within the Cherokee uh, nation. Okay, I would say that. So listen, this woman Nancy, she was born around 1738, right, in the sacred hills of Chota, which is the capital of the Cherokee Nation, right? So this woman, Nancy Ward, she was not raised to sit in silence, okay? She was raised to lead, this woman. So at 17, she had even followed her husband into battle. And then when he was killed in combat, she didn't even run, this woman. She picked up his rifle and she led the charge herself, okay? Listen, she was like the ride or die chick, right? Of That's how they say it, this new generation or whatever, right? So listen, that victory, it had changed everything about this woman, okay? Now, the Cherokee Nation had named this woman Beloved Woman. It was a title of honor. It was a title of power and sacred responsibility, right? Because this woman, she led the women's council. She held a seat among the chiefs, okay? And she had the sacred right to spare prisoners' lives, y'all, this woman. So one day she did just that. She did. She had saved a Caucasian woman named Lydia Bean from death. Instead of anger, this woman, she chose mercy. Nancy. She had offered protection. She invited this stranger to teach Cherokee women the skills of weaving and dairying, okay? It was a bridge that was built where blood could have been spilled, okay? So she believed in peace, this woman. She was no fool either, okay? When treaties were broken, when the lands were stolen, she spoke boldly. You are our sons. We are your mothers, right? Let our sons be yours and yours be ours. So at the Treaty of Hopewell, this woman, she had urged unity between settlers and the Cherokee. And when it became clear, okay, that land and greed would always come before peace, she stood with the Women's Council. She was opposing the selling of sacred land. Nancy Ward, this Cherokee beloved woman, okay, from the Cherokee Nation, she told her people, these lands are not ours to give. They belong to our children. Okay? This woman. So later in life, let me tell you about Nancy Ward, this woman. After losing her homeland to forced cession, okay, she had opened up an inn, y'all. A little inn, I-N-N, near Oconee River, serving travelers along the Federal Road, even in exile. She had kept her dignity. She died around 1822, this woman, but her spirit never left. And she's buried near Benton, Tennessee. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Marked by a humble monument. But it was to her people because why? She's still beloved. So she wasn't just a historical figure. She was a high priestess of the Cherokee, this woman. She was a woman of divine courage, spiritual wisdom, and sacred strength. Okay? In a world of war, this woman, she chose peace. In a time of silence, she used her voice. And in the face of loss, she kept her power. That's deep. That's real deep, y'all. So I just, listen, remember this woman, remember her name. Nancy Ward. Speak it, honor it, share it, because see, when we remember women like Nanyehi, we reclaim more than just history. We reclaim our truth, right? So listen, her name was Nancy Ward, though. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing her nickname right, but she was enough. You get the memo. This woman, she was enough. Listen, she was enough. This is about the sacred stories, baby, of women, okay, of women history that they tried to erase. The Cherokee history about sacred women. And Nancy Ward, she was one of them. She was that woman, okay? She was that woman. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. So yes, listen. Her leadership, it remains a beacon in the Cherokee history and beyond. It's a testament to powerful female leadership, cultural preservation, and peacemaking. That's what it is. Okay? She had reminded the tribal leaders of their sacred responsibility to the ancestral land. This was deep. She became valuable. This woman was a valuable woman to the Cherokee people. Do y'all hear me? This woman was a valuable. Her worth was far more above, listen, it was greater than rubies. Do you hear me? This woman embodied courage, leadership, and honor. She was honored as the beloved woman. So you can always trace her heritage, to the Cherokee roots and the ancient settlements along the Oconee rivers related to the regions in South Carolina, including Oconee County. Yes. She played a key spiritual role, this woman. She protected the king and the kingdom through sacred rituals, this woman. She sure did. She held significant social prestige. This woman, she was a high priestess. She sure was. So I wanted to expound on this video, okay, about Nancy Ward. This woman was a Cherokee seer. She was a peacemaker, but she also was a sacred mother. Okay? In the Cherokee language, her name, okay, let me tell you, her name means she who walks among them. Okay? But see, her presence was more than her name. She carried vision, she carried fire, and she carried the voice of the ancestors, this woman. Do y'all hear me? The woman, listen, some call this woman a warrior, others a prophet, but all knew as the heart of a nation. She was a beloved woman. She wasn't just political, but it was spiritual. This name, her name, it was spiritual. Because she was trusted by the Creator. She was chosen by the council of the elders. Are y'all listening to me? I'm talking about the Oconee high priestess, this woman. She was honored by the people, not for what she said, but for who she was. She held the female seat of balance in the Cherokee Nation, Nancy Ward, where the men led war councils. She led the people's conscience. She wasn't just a leader, this woman. She was the voice of the mother spirit of the land. So her history, okay, listen. History remembers her warning. She had warned John Sever of an attack on his settlement. But see, Cherokee oral tradition tells a deeper truth, okay? She had visions, okay, dreams. She had sensed danger before it came, and she was feeling the spirit of the land shifting. This woman, she could feel the shift in the land. Listen, y'all, some said she could feel war before it arrived. Do y'all hear me? Others believe she was guided by the voices of women who had passed on. The ancient grandmothers, y'all. Listen, the Spirit is speaking, but see, are you listening? I'm talking about Oconee high priestess. In Cherokee tradition, dreams were not superstition. They were communication from the sacred realm. Okay? Listen, I'm talking about the sacred role of the Cherokee woman. Do y'all hear me? And to understand Nancy Ward, you have to understand the Cherokee woman. In traditional Cherokee, okay, Cherokee society, okay, land was passed through the mothers